A couple weeks before my first season started, my ex-boyfriend and I got in a giant fight. I kind of went to this really, really low place where I just couldn't eat, just kind of lost a lot of weight from that. And then when I went into my agency and I took digitals, I got all these options. Was when I was the sickest I've ever been.
I went to meet with the agency and they measured me and they told me that I needed to lose, I think it was 2 inches off my hips and maybe 2 off my waist. I was a perfectionist, so I associated doing a good job with modeling with losing the weight. So I did. And it started out as just being more mindful, I guess. And then it did escalate and escalate and escalate. My lowest weight was 98 pounds when I was 17. And that was after I had just done a very successful season in Paris.
There was one casting in London. I was 17. I remember walking into the room full of people, and the designer gave me this bodysuit to put on. There was no changing room. She made me just get naked. And she took one look at my body and kind of snickered and laughed, said, "That's not going to work." And then walked out of the room, left me there naked to put back on my clothes in a room full of people.
When you're 15, you already have all this pressure all over, and to have everybody watch you grow up and just judge you and all that kind of stuff was tough, I
went to Paris, and after the first day of castings, my agency told me that the response from my first day of castings for shows was that I had gained too much weight and was unusable for the shows. We flew home the following day, and the day after that, there was a headline on the front page of the fashion section of the Wall Street Journal that said, model Ally Michael sent home for being too fat. To have this expose on the thing that I felt most insecure about in my life, reaching everyone, was absolutely mortifying.
I don't know, I feel like I was publicly shamed. But, I also just, it shouldn't be a big deal, really. But it did affect me at the time. I wanted to hide. And I didn't want a lot of people kind of, putting cameras in my face and putting me on front covers of newspapers.
What I was receiving for many years was that my body was not right. And it's almost impossible to erase that. And I thought, that I had really gotten it under control and that I was in a really healthy place. And I, earlier this month, got the opportunity to cast for this job that I have wanted for my whole career. And they tell you a month ahead of time so you can get ready for it. And the entire month was like torture for me.
Did you get the job?
No.
I came into this industry as a teenager, and then I hit puberty, and I was no longer that teenager anymore. I had boobs, and my body wasn't as stick skinny anymore, so I was pressured to go back to being that runway girl. I almost was told that modeling was done for me, and then Sports Illustrated kind of relaunched my career. So it was a really amazing moment because it was me being me on the cover of a magazine and fully being accepted and embracing myself.
You don't just take the picture and go home and then you don't know what happens with it. This image where I've put myself out there in this way, or I've been really vulnerable and real and shown it all and just gone for it, has helped in some domino effect this woman look at herself differently, put on a bikini, go to the beach, have fun with her friends, and it completely changed why and how I do this job.
People are always like, "Oh, how are you so confident? Where did you get it?"
And it's like, yeah, I opened up a box and I just like wore it today. But like, I worked really hard to be 26 and like okay with who I am and to do what I care about, which at the end of the day is just creating space for more people to feel seen